Welcome to In Moderation,
the show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved.
Brittany, I did not realize that NASA was making tracksuits.
That's pretty cool.
NASA?
It's
what I'm
looking
wearing?
super cool. What is this fit? I want one.
Is NASA sponsored by Nike?
Yeah, this is the Florida Gators. NASA's
Mike,
far removed.
no football. No ball sport. Mike, no.
Okay, look, that looks like the space shuttle suits. That's all I'm saying. You look it up, you'll see it.
A gator's mouth.
It kind of does.
Was a gator,
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I can't see anything.
I
I'm
can
getting like
send you
8
one.
pixels.
I mean, at the end of the day, what's the difference between Neil Armstrong and Tim Tebow? They're basically the same person.
Yeah. When I was at the University of Florida, he was there.
Tim Tebow was the first guy to kneel on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to In Moderation, the show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved. Mm-hmm. And today, we've got a very special guest, one of my close friends and registered dietitian, Brittany. You have a new last name.
Brittany Forbes.
Yes, Brittany Forbes. Hello. Yeah, your name is not current on Zoom here, but I was like, wait a second, you just got married.
I did, yes.
Wait,
Brittany Forbes, officially.
Trying to escape a past life. How close am I? Hot or cold?
Very cold. I don't.
Fuck. Damn it.
No escaping past lives.
Felt pretty confident about that shit too. Well, so okay.
Yeah.
All right, I want to know what made you want to become a dietitian. It's got to be for the money, right? That's why every dietitian I know, they do it for the just high paychecks that they all get. Usually from Monsanto, I'm assuming, as well as
PepsiCo.
Big Pharma, PepsiCo, all of those. According to the comment sections on most videos, that's what it seems to be. So that's why you did it?
100%. Yeah. So when I was applying to be a student at the University of Florida, my interview was actually with PepsiCo.
Holy
there was
shit,
no one
with
from the
Mr.
university
Pepsi?
there. Yeah.
You got to meet Mr. Pepsi? That's dope.
So it was kind of weird because I was like, I really just wanted to go to college, but I had to, sign a contract and then an NDA.
You had to indoctrinate yourself.
Yeah, it was a little bit here and there, but then I became a dietitian and now I make millions of dollars.
Exactly.
And now you can afford fancy jumpsuits.
Yeah, from
fancy NASA Gator jumpsuits.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, but seriously though, what within the field of dietitian, what do you focus on? What did you decide to focus on?
Is it angry ranting?
Angry? Well, that's definitely, but we're coming up on.
Wow. So I kind of live multiple lives as a dietitian. I work in the outpatient setting. I focus mostly on population health, which is a little bit of a niche area of dietetics in terms of the clinical side. So it's a non-traditional clinical job. And so what we do is we take mass amounts of patient data. We have over 100,000 patients at my company. And we are looking for gaps in care for different populations, whatever population we want to extract. So this could be diabetics, and then we can get more specific than that. We say diabetics over the age of 50, diabetics under the age of 20, or anything like that.
That's our demographic.
Yeah.
For the podcast.
So is diabetics under 20?
Yes. Spotify's getting real specific with the demos.
Right. So you take these populations, you see these ones aren't getting enough Pepsi, those aren't getting enough Lucky Charms, and then you try and figure out how to get it to them.
Aspartame supplements.
Aspartame deficiencies.
Yes, I'm saying if you can increase your daily intake of added sugar,
yes,
the diabetes actually goes away.
It's
diabetes
like fire with fire.
Real. Yeah. We just overload the system to the point where you're just like,
it's like a reset.
My blood sugar's
it's like when you just too much and the body just kind of shuts down and then boots back up, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome.
No, literally,
technically
you will
there
drop
is an
to the
amount
floor.
of sugar. Oh yeah,
diabetic coma, and it's just a full-on reset, and diabetes goes away.
When a newly diagnosed diabetic comes to my office, that is literally what they say. They're like, I never had diabetes till I went to the hospital and, they fed me a juice or something. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah. I never saw that planet until I looked into the telescope.
Yeah.
You know, like it was there.
So that's one thing. That's kind of one thing, and then you do other things as well, or is that mostly what you focus on?
In my like day-to-day job, yes. So we find the gaps in care, and then whatever those look like for nutrition, I go in and I close the gaps. And so the goal is to improve patient outcomes. So this could be A1C, this could be weight, this could be kidney markers. There's a bunch of different things. And then I also do health promotion. So we focus mostly on providing healthcare to the underinsured, the uninsured, and the undocumented. So a lot of people are very fearful of coming to the doctor because they're worried about their immigration status or whatever. But in our mind, it's like we don't want you to end up in the hospital. It costs everybody a lot more money. It's a lot more dangerous. And so I'm part of the team that goes out into the community, encouraging people to come and get preventative care and get care for chronic disease management, like type 2 diabetes. So it's probably most of what I do. I run some grants. I do a couple other things, but yeah, day to day, that's what I'm doing.
I thought people like you got ran out of the U.S.
I'm still here fighting. I'm not giving up.
I'm glad that this exists. Like, because I mean, you know, anybody out there listening who may be fearful of doing something like that, it's good to know that there are services available for them.
Yes, pretty much any federally qualified healthcare system is doing what we're doing. They're not all that common. I think there's only a few in Florida. So every state has like one here or there, but they're usually relatively small, and they're run similarly to a hospital, like a hospital system. So they have like private funders, they have public funders, but the difference is that they're getting massive subsidies from the federal government to make sure that the care is affordable and accessible to the most vulnerable populations.
Now, there's, when it comes to dietitians, there are a lot of people out there with some, I would suppose to say, mixed opinions on how things should be treated and administered and everything. How do you go about taking care of somebody when they're in front of you? Like, what are you assessing? What are you looking for? And what's your path forward?
Sure. So I am a very conversational dietitian. So that's my counseling style. Like, we're just here to talk. Like, let's have tea time in my office. Come and tell me everything. We just want to have a conversation. I don't like to be very authoritative. I don't find that to be very effective. A lot of people want to change. They want to be better. And they don't want to be talked at. They want to be talked with. So I usually ask, I'd obviously introduce myself, other than I'm the space woman, and come to my office and I'm gonna indoctrinate you with NASA information and PepsiCo. But no, usually I will ask someone like, what are your goals and what are you trying to achieve by talking with me today? That's like my script. I say that to everybody walking in because I know what I want to get done with a patient. But if they're not on board, then nothing's going to change. So it really goes to them to tell me what they're really looking for. And then I have like a list of questions. I usually kind of make it fun. I'm like, I have a little bit of an interrogation today. I'm going to ask you a list of questions. Yes, no, maybe. The more honest you are with me, the better I'm able to help you. So we kind of talk maybe like 15, 20 minutes just to kind of gauge like what their needs are and where the gaps are. And then from my training, I'm just like trying to figure out like, what do we do next? And it's going to look different for everybody because I mean, we are sifting through literally thousands and thousands of patients. No two patients are going to be the same, even in the same population, because I could have a diabetic, let's say, who's 25 years old, but one doesn't have insurance and one does. That already changes the recommendation because it's clear that, one is underserved and one has the resources that they need.
And then I'm assuming you try and focus on the people who need, figure out what they need and, help them. So I'm wondering, like, what are your resources you have? My daughter wants to watch Dory as well. Yes, Dory. Loves Dory. It's the best. I know. Dory.
You're on sixth time watching Dory. You know the whole script at this point.
Not sponsored, but we can be. Disney, listen up.
So usually for somebody who needs a little bit more support, it's seeing like what they have to work with. So I do have a patient right now who does not have access to a kitchen regularly. And that's really challenging because they're living on a lot of ultra processed food, the big ugly ultra processed food. Um, and I'm like, "Do you have a crock pot? Can you plug anything in?" We can work with that. If you can plug anything in, like we'll find a solution, no problem.
I like that.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's what we've been working with. So it's not, most of the stuff is not fresh and it's not frozen. Most of the stuff is canned. But I usually say that if you can find a recipe that you like, any recipe, it can be adapted. A recipe is a suggestion, it's not an instruction. So if you are like, this recipe calls for chicken and you don't have fresh chicken, like you can use canned or you can use another canned meat. If it calls for um like one vegetable, you really, if you can find something that cooks the same and tastes the same, then you make an equal substitution. So for a high needs patient, like we're really, I'm really, well, it's me. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out how can we adapt this to fit someone where they're at. And in the meantime, try to connect them with resources that would get them access to more. So I do sit on a county commission for food insecurity, and it is fascinating. So we have over 80 organizations who, some way or another, want to be involved in this conversation. So I have access to a lot of different people, and we kind of use that to coordinate care. So when one person from an organization identifies someone in need, they could say, "Hey, this person doesn't have healthcare." They say, "Britt, I have this person. Can I send them your way? This is what they need." And we say yes, no, try to make it work. So I do the same thing with the patients who, if they need SNAP, then they can go to the SNAP extension office. If they need WIC, they can go to the WIC extension office, so on and so forth.
So I'm
Okay, what's
wondering
WIC?
what's WIC? Yeah, that too.
Women,
Yes.
infant, and children. It
I
is
I
food,
was on that
like
when I was a
food
kid.
stamps, but for women, infant, and children only. So children up to the age of 5.
Yeah, it was a lifesaver. We got lots of cheese and beans, and we made it work.
I bet.
Yeah.
I
They're
bet you
fun
love
times.
those beans.
What are the like?
Fucking
So I'm
pervert.
assuming then the roadblocks you see, the most common roadblocks you see are from just like from a financial aspect.
Mostly financial. Literacy is a big one too. So either literacy or language is usually a barrier, which, like, language at this point, I'm basically fluent in Spanish. Like, I'm like, ask me anything. I don't even need my interpreters anymore. But we have medical interpreters for like over like 150 languages. So I'm like, oh, that's nothing. Like, we can make that work. And just making sure that people understand what we're really asking of them in their native language, because things get lost in translation or there's not an equal word for it in their language or in English. And so sometimes like people fall through the cracks in healthcare just because we don't speak the same language. Um, but literacy, but I've have like resources now, like I would say like client handouts that are for low literacy. Like I use pictures with colors, or I use like bin systems. That's something that I like came up with myself. So it's like, if we can at least show you what the foods look like, I say all the foods that contain carbohydrates, put them in red. All the ones that contain fiber, you put them in blue, so on and so forth. And then we don't really have to go over like label reading and all of that stuff because it's just not going to be possible. And we can't teach someone to read, right? They have to go somewhere else to do that, but I can work around it.
How for those people out there who don't quite know what the difference between a doctor and a dietitian is, could you briefly let everyone know why maybe they would come to you instead of a doctor for something?
Yeah, so a dietitian's role is to manage chronic disease. So we cannot diagnose a medical condition. Nobody can except a doctor. And sometimes physician assistants and nurse practitioners can if they are overseen by an attending physician, which would be a medical doctor, MD. So once they have a diagnosis, then the dietitians can come in and help manage that. So a chronic condition, really, there's a bunch, but if we like sum it up, it's going to be diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver disease, kidney disease, and obesity. So those are our chronic conditions, and dietitians thrive when it comes to managing those conditions. It could be something like, if you're unsure how much like water and sodium and potassium and things like that you need, you go to the dietitian, because the doctor is there on the medical side, more for preventing the progression of the disease or treating the disease to try to reverse it or decrease the severity. But the dietitians are there to improve your quality of life and also help to manage it, right? We don't want to see you get any sicker than you are. And if we can help reverse it, we will. So we do all of the health education.
So I'm assuming that can be very difficult when you have people who have these barriers, like, finances or language or all these things. Right. So I'm assuming when you see people online making videos and making it seem like it's super simple to be healthy, that doesn't bother you at all.
No, my blood pressure is just like 500,000 and I'm like, my head's exploding, but no, it's fine.
I'm assuming that's got to be one of the things when you see videos online, that's got to be one of the things that frustrates you, right? Because it becomes online, it becomes black and white. Everything's black and white. It's just like, this is the reason
just
for this,
do this.
And that's it.
Yeah.
No nuance. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I sometimes like sit and I like toil and I'm like, do I want to spend the next 3 hours like going head to head with someone online?
Right.
Or do I want to just read it and carry on? It's just like, it's so endless. You guys know it's so endless. Like, you could be there all day being a comment warrior, and like some people just, they're never going to get it. It's sad to say, but they're never going to get it unless it happens to them. Yeah. Or it happens to someone they love.
What are the most common things you see? Like from what I would say, what pisses you off? That's basically my question. Is like, what do you see online that you're like, oh, fuck it, this shit again. God damn it.
I would say that like lock-in, that grind set mindset that people have, that's probably like the worst thing, because it makes it sound like you can just outwork any bad thing that's ever happening to you, either like just on a personal level or like on your health. And like, you can't outwork a chronic disease. Like, if you get a disease, like you just have to try to manage it. Sometimes it can be put in remission, but that's not always the case. But people online are like, you're wrong. Like, you don't know. You were educated by PepsiCo. And it's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Yes. Like, yeah.
I think it's unfortunate, because I get where they're coming from, where they say like, you can treat these things or cure these things with diet and exercise. I'm like, yeah, but they just take it the extra 37 steps, right? Or they're just like, oh, it's simple, you just do these things and then the problem is solved. When it's just, they don't realize it's more complicated than that until, like you said, it happens to them or it happens to someone they know.
Sure. Yeah. And like, some people also start to go down the rabbit hole of like, well, what is health? And like, who's telling us what is healthy? And like, where did that originate? And who's funding it? And next thing you know, these people are like, you can only buy beets from this regenerative farm in, I don't know, like Australia, who like that only uses alkalized water, like from this like reverse osmosis filtration system in their home. And it's like, okay, I need everyone to calm down, because this is kind of getting insane.
I just saw that for microplastics. Peter Attia is like, get a reverse osmosis machine and check your HVAC system to make sure it's got the right MERV. Right, Oakley? That's ridiculous. Nobody even knows what MERV is besides him, and he's telling people. And like, don't get me wrong, I think Peter Attia has like good information, but it's like, you're like, okay, but where's most people at, you know?
Yeah, like, it just gets to a point where it's like, where's the line? And it's like, you had good intentions with wanting to be healthier and trying to, quote, get to the bottom of your health, and you ended up in some like weird magical land that's not real.
There are plenty of people to take advantage of if you've got loose morals online.
Yes.
There are people that want to have some kind of solution to a very strong pain point. And when you empathize with that person, at least vocally anyway, and make them feel heard, and then you give them a solution to something that feels solutionless, you can sway a lot of people. This is not an instructional. This is a warning. Any potential grifters out there who are like, "Oh, this is the magic secret. I'm going to be the next Paul Saladino." We've talked
Speaking
about
of
what would
our magical world. I heard you guys have a war on protein, or had a war on protein.
Yeah, I didn't know about this war. I just learned about it like today.
This war is completely one-sided. One side has fucking M16s, and the other one has like whatever they use in the Civil War. I don't know. There's no. The war is completely one-sided. Everything has to have protein. Yeah, and yeah, I think obviously, we can rant all day about it, but I think just the direction that, yeah, here, thank you very much, pictures, that's very nice. I think the direction they're taking it is just it's like, I see where they're coming from, but it removes like all of just like, yes, this is me, thank you very much, and that's mommy as well. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. This 2-year-old decided she doesn't want to sleep or nap, so she's going to be up till midnight. It's fine. This is what most people are dealing with, like kids and shit, and they're doing stuff. And then they just want to boil it down like, oh, just eat more grass-fed beef. Exactly.
In moderation, with special guest Oakley.
It's most days. I got socks now. This, like, for me, they're like, I had somebody do a video that was just like, Liam, you do like a lot of videos on like all these recipes. Well, what do you eat during the day? And I'm like, what keeps me alive? Basically, like when I have 2-year-old, yeah. I'm like, oh, I have some beans from a can and I have this rice that was in the fridge from like Chinese, and I'm putting those together and I'm eating them, and that's what keeps me alive. Yeah, with the CD, and I probably wouldn't eat that, but other than that, yeah, I eat what like keeps me alive. And it's just, it's just like, oh, if someone's it's like they're talking to people who are fitness influencers. That's what it feels like. Like
they're talking to themselves, yeah.
They're talking to themselves who have all this time and all these resources. That's who they're talking to. And for those people, that's great. But what about the rest of us? And that's where I think the dietitians really come in to help.
100%. Yeah, and I just had a conversation with my supervisor on like, am I supposed to teach this new like keto cone? That's what the dietitians have been calling it, the keto cone, their new food pyramid. And I'm like, I am not doing that. Like, there is no way. And I don't know, like, I want to stay evidence-based, but then it's going to be a interesting time with patients coming to my office who are very interested in learning and are doing their own research. And then they're going to the government websites that have been like washed of information. So it's all rewritten. I'm like, oh no, like.
So I'm kind of curious, like, what do you find with people, like some of the most common, I mean, tips or whatever, I don't know the exact word I guess I'm looking for here, but something that helps people, like when you're talking to people, you're like, oh, these few little like tips I give them, that generally helps a larger portion of the people that I deal with. Is there something like that when you're working with people?
Yeah, honestly, nutrition by addition. That's like, like one of my big things that I say. I didn't come up with it, but I hear other dietitians, other people talk about it.
We can steal it. It's fine. We're fine stealing things here.
Yeah.
This is the first time that's been said.
Yeah. So it's just
give some examples. Like, what like when people are asking, like, what does that mean? What do I do? What would you tell them?
So I tell them that, like, if you can learn how to eat, you'll know what to eat. It's not the other way around. So this means that you're going to identify your meal pattern first. You're going to say, these are my foods that have carbs in them. These are my foods that have protein. And these are my foods that have my fiber. And once you can identify that and you know that this is my meal pattern, so it has to have like each one of a food from each one of those categories, then you can identify what's missing. And so you don't have to like rework the whole diet. That's not the point. The point is to have flexibility and be adaptable so that you can eat healthily in any environment, in any situation. So nutrition by addition. You're going to add what you're missing to make your plate nutritious.
I like it. So, so let's take that. When they go, would you say when they go like grocery shopping, keep that in mind, maybe get some different things from different categories and make sure you have that at home if you can, let's say if you're able to.
Yeah, and I give handouts too. So like I have a balanced plate handout that like gives examples of like foods that are in each category. I did make, because I have a grant program that helps to subsidize the cost of groceries for some of my most vulnerable patients. And both of the programs are going pretty well. But I created a shopping list because the gift cards are to Walmart. So I went through on my own and looked at like all the different foods, wrote down the prices, and then I was like, okay, so how could I make some like recipes out of the things I selected? And so I have $100 shopping list, and there's like maybe six or seven meals that they could get out of.
And the podcast right now, it's over. We're done. That thing's still around. It's getting less bad. I'm noticing it online, but it's still around.
Yeah, I short circuited just now, and I was like 6 or 7.
So, wait a second. I know those numbers.
So yeah, but like I genuinely say like it's 6 or 7 meals. Like I have like 2 for breakfast, 2 for lunch, 2 for dinner. And I started to use that list for like my everyday client. And I just had a patient who I've been seeing for well over a year, and always running out of money for food, getting some assistance through SNAP, not very much, but was having to go to her sister to supplement the rest of her like nutrition for the month. So either getting some money or the sister was cooking. So I was like, you know what? I have this like grocery list. I don't know that you'll eat everything on this list, but just substitute for the things that you feel are equivalent. And she reported back, she was like, we had $25 left over and we could buy some extra things that we wanted. And I was like, wow, like,
yeah,
this is great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's say people get a list of these different like foods. You just maybe kind of go through it, would you say? And like, oh, I like these things. I don't like those things. Leave them out. Maybe I'll add these things to lists. If finances are an issue, focus on the things that are cheaper or more affordable, or obviously that you have access to. And, you know, try and stock your pantry if you're able to with those things for when you do need to make a meal. Now, you know, protein, carbs, fat. Oh, I'm missing a protein in this. Okay, let me go get the chicken, the tofu, or whatever it is.
Yes, and I have like a lot of educational tools in my office because I also do pediatrics. So I see like little tiny babies, I would say like as young as 3 years old, all the way up. So I do like nutrition through the life cycle pretty much. So I have like food displays so people know what their fruits and vegetables look like, especially when there's a language barrier. Like sometimes the interpreter's like, I don't have an exact word. Like what is it? Can you describe it to me? And so I will use my food display, and some like it's common fruits and vegetables like bell peppers, onions, pears, apples, bananas. And so it's like when I'm showing people like these are your fruits, these are your grains. Like I have a bag of rice, I have a bag of beans, and then I have like empty food containers. So I could be like crackers, they are carbohydrates, pretzels, they are carbohydrates. So it's like it's very involved in education. And that's why I say, like, I'm having a conversation with someone. I'm not talking at them.
Yeah, because that's the thing. And that's what gets lost in social media. It's just like, really, everyone is different. And that's what I always have a difficult time when people ask me questions. I'm like, not only am I not your dietitian, I'm not even a dietitian currently, at least. So I can't really give you and people want me to make videos on like sodium. And I'm just like, depends. Like that's with all of these things. I just want to say it depends. And that's what it gets lost. And that's what's kind of difficult. And I know that's tough for people to hear, especially because it's a short form video and I don't have a lot of time. So I just kind of want to be like, depends.
It's true though. Like I am a dietitian. I still say that all the time. Like it depends. Like what are your goals? Like what's wrong with you? And that'll help me dictate the recommendation that's made.
So do your best. You know, or do it not your best. We didn't even say do your best. We say, don't be your worst. That's what we say here. It's just like, don't be your worst. Try and do what you can. You know, get the foods that you're able to. Build a meal as much as you can. You know, like you said, nutrition by addition. I like that. I'm doing that all the time here in my life. I'm like, oh man, I have these chips. I was literally eating like, what was it? Cheetos. There's like these they're making like natural Cheetos now or whatever that don't have dyes in them or whatever. We picked them up because they were naked. Yeah. And I was like, sure, whatever. Like, I don't care. But maybe for other people that matters. I'm just eating that because that's what we had. And I'm like, oh shoot, I got blueberries, cashews and this. All right, let me just shove those. All right. Oh, I need a scoop of peanut butter, like whatever. And then I just continue on. And then I get yelled at by a toddler. That's most of my day. That's really just how most of my day goes. I'm like, oh, bread. Carb, okay, protein, peanut butter is a little bit of protein and some fat. lots of fat, so that's good. All right, banana, more carb. I'm not doing the protein ratio right. Oh, protein shake, perfect. Grab that, and that's pretty much how my day goes. And I just manage through. And most of the time, I'm eating like what I recipe reviews, even if it wasn't good. I'm like, oh well, this wasn't good. Still eating it because that's all I have time.
Yeah. So it's, and a lot of people like. A lot of, I would say, health conscious people, like they are doing the nutrition by addition. They just like don't call it that, but it's like you're just filling in the gaps of like you're trying to make it as healthy and sustainable as you can, so that you're not like crashing throughout the day. Like you want to have energy, you want to feel good. So yeah.
I mean, that's really why the main reason for me trying to like eat healthier is just because I feel better. It's not because of like, all these things and whatever. I'm like, I just want to feel, I need energy to chase a 2-year-old around. That's really what I need. And like try to get her to eat healthy, like too. I'm like, I don't really, obviously you're at that stage where you don't be like, these are good foods or bad foods or whatever. She always wants to eat fruit snacks. She's fucking obsessed with like Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. I'm like, okay, fine. We're getting the Scooby-Doo fruit snacks.
The best.
Fair.
They are very good. Yeah. Oh, now she has Bluey fruit snacks. That's what she's watching in the other room. Now it's Bluey. It wasn't Dory, it was Bluey. I don't know. It's all over the place. And I throw those on a plate and then I'm like, oh, she likes pistachios. Yes, I'm right here. And then I throw in other things. I'm like, oh, she likes berries. All of that stuff. I just throw it on the plate and I'm like, here, just eat these things, cheese, whatever. And that's pretty much where we're at. Yeah. That's you have a remote. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The crash on the ground.
If she puts a hand out with a remote and if you don't take it from her, she just drops it. She's like, here you go. And I'm like thank you. And just drops it. And then it's done. She just dropped. That's how it goes. And it's just like, I feel like that's what a lot of people are dealing with, like kids and work and all these things. And it's like, how can you make it easier for yourself? Right? Oh, I got a bag salad and a rotisserie chicken. Fucking problem solved.
Perfect.
I got things over. Oh, no, I don't have rotisserie chicken. Chicken fingers or whatever. Like, like chicken nuggets. I'll throw them in a salad. That's at least I'm getting something. Like, just keeping it as simple as you can, and that's my suggestion. This is what keeps me alive.
Well, it's working. It's definitely working.
It's enough.
Liam's over here like, what are the macros of locking yourself in your car in the garage and turning it on?
I keep food in my car. Oh yeah. No, I'm like, okay, I got these little like trail mix. I keep food in my car. I got some edamame snacks in there. I'm like, this is how I keep myself alive, because I'm like, oh, I meant to bring a protein shake with me to gym so I can have that afterwards. I don't have that, and all I have is vending machines at the library that we're going to after the gym, and like I'm just doing what I can to, keep it going. And that's just right. Like so many people, it's just like, stop worrying so much. Add into your diet. Stop worrying about all the fucking influencers that their job is literally to influence you, right? For a lot of these, they have no kids. They have none of this stuff. And they're just like, oh, I start my morning with a 30-minute, get the hell out of here. Whatever you were about to say, that 30-minute, my morning, like wake up, drink coffee, get going.
Yeah. My wake up to the time I'm like at work in my office is 45 minutes. Like there is no extra 30 minutes walk, wake up, make some weird protein pancake meditate, or waffle or something. Yeah.
Sun
like my antioxidant blast.
Yeah. You're like, I've been seeing like, I don't know what it is, but like the hydrogen water where they're like blending water and then drinking it or something.
The hydrogen. Like, they add hydrogens, Brittany. That makes it better for you. It's H3O or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. They got the little water bottle that spins and it lights up. That does look really cool. I have to admit, when it spins in a circle and they're like, it's adding hydrogens. You're like, oh, that's gotta be good for me or something.
Yeah. It's like how light up Skechers make you a faster runner.
Yeah.
I think it's the same concept.
What do you see products like that? What other products? Do you have any other ones that you're just like, oh God, this thing? I don't know.
Oh my God. Yes. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, but the Lumen where you like breathe out and it supposedly like tells you how many calories you're burning or something.
Yes. That's one of those ones that's really like, I'm going to say good in quotation marks, because like there is truth in like how much carbon dioxide you breathe out relates to like how many calories you burn. So like it takes a bit of truth and then it like sells it to you. And that's perfect for making money.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like what they're doing is like kind of similar to like some kind of like calorimetry, or I can't even say it. I'm not calorimetry. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. It was a big word for me just now, but it's supposed to be in a controlled environment. And so it's like to be like on your living room couch, like breathing out into like some whistle or something. Like that is not going to tell you shit.
Oh, can I tell you my most hated one? Most
Yes,
hated
let's
one?
hear it.
It's up there. If it's not most hated, it's close. The fucking greens powders to this day drive
Oh,
me crazy
yes.
because it's sold to you as if you don't eat greens, just put a scoop of this into your, like into some water and, force it down because I've tried a bunch of them and they're the worst. They taste horrible. And it has a milligram of each of these things and they're just so overpriced. I hate them. I don't like athletic greens. Have you seen that? It's like $120 or something per whatever unit you get. I don't know because you have to get it every 30 days or whatever. I cannot stand greens powders.
I've been seeing that. Recently I've been seeing GLP-1 stickers.
Stickers?
Which I'm like, how the hell does that work?
What? I have to look this up right now.
By the way,
They're
this
like
is not real, right?
Something.
Like there's no.
No, it's not. No, I don't even know what's in it. It's like it's adhesive to your skin. I don't know.
What is this? FDA approved. Oh my goodness. $45 to get started. I love that. Oh,
it's
wow.
not like a nicotine patch, right? Like I don't think it absorbs
I don't know
way.
what's in it, and the thing is, I just had a patient come in and was like, "Oh, I couldn't get tirzepatide, so I went on Temu and I got GLP-1."
Oh no, this is so bad.
Those Temu weight loss stickers coming in.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of didn't even know what to say, but I'm learning like. My patients help me like stay up to date on like everything, every possibility that like exists on the internet.
They're gonna find the scams.
It's Kind. Yeah, Kind Patch is a popular brand on TikTok. Has renamed its GLP-1 patches to berberine patches. They renamed them to berberine patches.
Oh, is that what's in them? I never actually looked what was in them.
So that must be what it is. I don't know. That's terrible and great at the same time.
Is definitely not effective. 110% not doing anything.
Oh no, this is bad. Oh, we've just hit late stage capitalism where you try and get your berberine through patches and Shaq is on your gummies and we just have to fucking write it out. Like I don't know what else to do.
Yeah,
I gotta start doing crossovers.
There was one other product. I can't think of what it was now, but I just remember my reaction. I was like, "What are you talking about?" But yeah, the most recent one. This just happened this week too. Was the Kind patches.
That's great.
There's not endorsed by Mike Needs a Plan, by the way.
Yeah, I'll stick with my cottage cheese. Right?
I feel incredibly unkind about this.
It's cheap. It's cheap. It's got protein. I'm telling you, I added to like a rice, beans, cottage cheese. And sometimes maybe corn. I'll throw that in there too. Simple. Like I have that all the time. I'm telling you guys.
That's perfect.
All these fucking fancy meals. You ever see one of those meals where you're like, oh, it's a 10-minute meal and you make it. And then an hour later, you're like, wow, I'm like halfway through this shit. This is not good.
I've got 12 dirty bowls right now.
My dishwasher is full.
And I won't be able to wash them all at once.
I'm 60 minutes into a 10-minute meal.
Why did I need 4 spatulas?
Because you mess it up too. And like, great, try new things. I do it for videos, but like so many times I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'll just buy this thing from the store and I'm not making my homemade tzatziki or tzatziki or fucking tizai guy, whatever the hell you want to call it. I always get yelled at. And like, I put it on some naan I buy at the store that I probably called naan bread and got yelled at that for too with my chai tea. Oh yeah, whenever I say not, because non means
you
bread.
You can't say chai tea.
And exactly, that's what I'm saying. Chai tea, non-bread. But listen, in my fucking defense here, we say hound dog. You know what hound means? Dog. We just saying dog. We say, I'm going to the ATM machine. Oh, you're going to the automatic whatever machine. We all do it. It's just like, give me some slack here. Sometimes I say it afterwards, I'm like, oh, shit, and editing, I'm like, oh, I'm so screwed. I'm going to hear about this nonstop. Why do I? Oh, you say sugar-free maple syrup? No, it's sugar-free pancake syrup. There's no such thing as sugar-free maple syrup. It's never ending. Anyway, all comments help the algorithm.
Actually.
And I don't. Actually, and you just it's like, oh, really? I just made this tomato soup, and it's a great way to add vegetables into your. Actually, those peppers are technically fruits along with a tomato. So really, you just made a fruit soup. Get the. Oh my god, that makes me mad. Forget greens powders. That pisses me off. What are you, a botanist? Then shut the hell up. So yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's just like I'm not doing all that and keeping it simple, and I just like I get food into me and it keeps me alive and enough to survive toddlerdom.
You know, this might be the perfect opportunity to mention why it is that I talked to you tonight about getting onto the podcast, because you and I talk shit about the health and fitness industry quite often. And we were talking about like doing a live stream or something to air our grievances. And in all caps, I get a comment from you that says, "I've got some shit to fucking say."
Oh, that's
and at that point,
we need
light
shit,
bulb went off in my
it.
head of like, oh, we've got to get Brittany on here to yell about whatever it is that's pissing her off right
Anything
now.
else that's going on, you got it. Just go for it. That's what we're here. That's mostly what we're here for. Oh wait, we haven't brought it up. Did you know the DeLorean's coming out? It's $250,000. The new one, they're remaking it. We can't afford it. We're mad about that. We want to get one. It's a reoccurring joke. We have to make sure we bring it up every episode. Anyway, go ahead about your rants.
If you want in, we're taking co-writers on it.
It's $250,000. Don't whatever you got.
Well, with all of my PepsiCo money, I mean, I might be able to pull off a miracle.
You can afford it,
Mr. Pepsi. Ask Mr. Pepsi. I'm sure.
BlackRock, Palantir, Raytheon, fuck you guys, Rothschilds, George Soros.
I'm going to come into a lot of money one of these days. I'm not going to know what to do with it. I'm going to have to donate it. Yeah.
Donate it to our DeLorean fund.
So let's air our grievances. This is a late Festivus episode.
Yeah, me, like, I'm down the rabbit hole of like all the peptides, the GLP-1 nonsense.
Peptides.
Yeah, so I am working on my board certification in obesity and weight management. I do metabolic health with all of my patients. So like that's part of chronic disease management is your metabolism. Metabolism includes all of your organs. So nobody likes to say that part. Metabolism just is a magical place where you go and all of your calories dump into a garbage can and get burned away, right? So
and then you ramp it up or slow it down based on various factors in your life or foods. Yeah, definitely got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I thought this would be like a really good time to kind of like branch out more and get some certs. I've got more time on my hands. So like part of the studying is I have to know about all of the FDA approved GLP-1s, all the medications that are approved for weight management, and all the ones that haven't even come out yet. And what's crazy to me is that the ones that are still in like stage 2 clinical trials are like being sold on the black market. And I'm seeing TikTok, Instagram, like people have like, I've been on this whatever peptide for 8 weeks and these are my results. And I'm like, how did you get it? Number one, like you broke into the lab and like stole it and synthesized it or something. But what I was telling Mike the other night is that really seeing the effects of these GLP-1s and reading about them, they really should be considered performance enhancing drugs. And the fact that we are mostly giving these out like unmanaged, I don't want to say unregulated because that's not true, but like to see someone who has no baseline for nutrition education, doesn't have a good baseline for their health, and suddenly they're being given these really powerful drugs and dropping like 75 pounds overnight. It was crazy. And this I have to say it because I told Mike the other night, I was just like, I couldn't even believe it. So I work with a cardiologist who's also my doctor. And I went to see him the other day. And he came in looking like shit, dude. Like, just gaunt in the face, like eyes were dark. And I've never seen the doctor like this look this sickly. And so he was like, do you happen to know about GLP-1s, whatever? And I was like, yeah, I know like a thing or two, like maybe, kind of, sort of. And he was like, oh, is it normal if like you're having nausea, you've been on it for 3 months, whatever, like starts listing off all these symptoms. And then he was like, because I don't really feel that great. And I was like, oh, you were asking for you. Like, I thought you were asking, like, as a professional
Right.
trying to prescribe these.
That's what I would
And he was like, no, like I'm losing like 12 pounds a month. And I'm on this like not even that high of a dose, but high enough of terzepatide. And he's like, I'm eating like just some soup and like I'm barely eating and like I just don't feel very good. And I was like, why? Even a physician, a cardiologist, a board certified cardiologist is taking this medication, feeling like shit, and still prescribing it to other people is like blowing my mind and pissing me off. Like,
It's interesting, but also I kind of get it though, because I feel like physicians kind of get this like they might feel like they know more, so they feel safer because they are in this space where like I went to school
yes.
for medicine, so I know more, so I can do it more safely than the average person. I kind of feel like that
So
might play a part.
definitely. And so I was like, I was a little bit sarcastic because I work with this doctor too. And I was like, Dr. So and so, I'm like, you know, you just described to me as malnutrition, right? I'm like, Dr. So and so, like, you're malnourished. Congratulations. Like, to me, these drugs should really be for people who are quite serious about change and have a really good care team who is well educated on them. I'm like giving, because they're for obesity and type 2 diabetes, like giving a fat diabetic these drugs and telling them to go on their way and then come back in 3 months is crazy. And I am like, I'm about to like jump off the deep end and tell everyone like stop taking these damn drugs. They are for like they really should be for the bodybuilders. Like that's how I feel. Like unless you're super serious about like getting huge and like changing your life, like you really shouldn't even be on them. No one is
It's
safe from the Ozempic demon.
Where do those bodybuilder drugs come from so I can make sure to not get them?
They broke into the lab and synthesized them. I literally don't even know how people are getting them. It's
'cause
insane to me.
I know with the SARMs, which is a little bit different, but a lot of those were like not for human consumptions. They were research chemicals, big quotes. So that's how you could buy them. And I
Supposed
don't
to order
know.
them for your rats.
See, for your animals. My anaconda needs his SARMs or whatever. So I buy those. But that's so it might be something similar with that with the peptides, but I don't know.
Maybe, but I mean, these are approved. Well, they're not approved yet, but like they're in human clinical trials for approval. So I'm just like, they've got like some inside link and they're able to get this stuff, or there's someone who is able to synthesize them on their own and they're selling them completely unregulated, which is crazy.
Or it's just not what they say it is.
That's true. That too.
Hey, we had chips that made people leak out their buttholes, and we still sold like millions of pounds of that or whatever, right? If it helped people lose weight, who cares what the side effects or the cost is?
Exactly. It's just like, and the what I've been seeing on Instagram in the last like 6 weeks, maybe because like I'm studying it, so I'm like saying it out loud and like I'm looking stuff up. So now my algorithm is like, hey, do you want to buy this like on the black market for $700? It's like, get out of my face. Like, just literally leave me alone.
I could only sell that for
Mike's ready.
twice that much. If I can only double my money, it's not worth it. Why are you trying to give this to me?
So like all of my algorithm has been like these like transformations of people on these like on these peptides. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is an epidemic. It is so out of hand.
And I hate to say it, but I feel like it's going to get worse. I feel like it's going to get worse. I don't feel like it's getting better anytime soon.
So I told Mike at this point, at this point, we should all just invest in Eli Lilly and just like get our money, and then you guys can fund your DeLorean.
So they're called the berberine patches. Who's in? I feel like, you know.
Can we get like in moderation berberine patches made? Sell them on the website?
Products we need to make. Put berberine patches on the list. Oh no.
There is a sad, poor food scientist out there who is waiting to make something dumb like that. You could find
sticker on your put it on your Sharps container in your kitchen.
Yes.
Well, I think unfortunately I have to go be a dad. This is thing this is a chronic condition. This is my chronic condition.
Yes.
If you treat
There's
people,
no cure.
There's no cure for this. It lasts a long time. Yeah, I'm literally being pulled right now. I know. I'm literally being pulled away from the microphone right now. I think I might need
to get this stuff off the
that,
market for, but the website I know of is actually currently blocked in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know. I can't get my whatevers.
Can we get it here?
Yeah. You want the website?
Yeah, give it to me off air. I got to make sure I block it. Also, I think that what we just saw happen to Liam is the closest we'll ever get to a giant cane coming out of a curtain and pulling someone away.
Pulling him.
We don't have
like, hold on.
classic physical bits like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just in case anybody out there is like, are the professionals angry too? Are the professionals angry too? Fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Who do you think we should replace RFK Jr. with?
God, I don't even know. I haven't even thought that far ahead. Like every day is a new battle. I'm like, can I just make it till tomorrow?
Can we just make it until so your local dietitian is thinking about the same thing you're all thinking about, which is, can we survive another day? And
yes.
Furthermore, should we survive another day? The answer is sometimes the same for both.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like there's no one that really sticks out to me as like who really cares about public health, who is like really the face of public health. I really feel like it should be someone who wants to make major investments to the agriculture, because part of the flow, accessibility, and affordability of like fresh products comes from the fact that our farmers are not being paid well. Their reimbursement isn't good, and industry has bought them out. So if there was someone who oh God, I'm going to say it, a big ag person who wants to come in and actually revamp some stuff, it might not be a half bad idea. Maybe someone from PepsiCo even.
Let's talk about that real quick. Do people think that scientists and researchers and medical professionals who make these advancements are supposed to work for free? Like, where's the money supposed to come from to those people? And actually, you know what? Let me ask you this, because I don't think I even know the answer. Why is it that these big corporations fund this research? Do you know? Because sometimes the research will contradict their own product.
Sure. So it's usually not like, if you think of like a government, right? The government doesn't mean one thing. There's a lot of different like subsets. And so major corporations in the food industry work the same way. So PepsiCo actually like funds a lot of nutrition research. They fund a lot of agricultural research and institutions. And that's not because they're like wanting a specific outcome. It's because it helps their reputation as a brand, quite honestly. It gives them more credibility if they say, hey, we care about these things. It's not that like, hey, we want to show that the research supports what we do. It's the opposite. It's like we want people to know that regardless of what the research says, we care about public health. We as an institution want to show you that we can do things that disagree with us and we still look good. So it's really about looking good and reputable. It's not about trying to like push a certain narrative about health.
Every time I see people talking about Coca-Cola sponsored this or whatever, this place sponsored this, I'm like, we don't have other funding. You know, it's like,
yes.
It's not substantially anyway. And it's just like, I don't know, it needs to come from somewhere. We need to be making advancements. I think the people who are super critical about that are usually more anti-science anyway, in my opinion. Like, it just seems that way. It's like maybe they just don't want there to be research.
Yeah, and like the industry usually gets a lot of like credit for like making massive investments, but like there's a lot of smaller organizations that are, or foundations even, that are like giving some funding for either like lab equipment, for researchers' time. And to be honest, a lot of food researchers are graduate students. So like it goes into I don't want to say that the graduate students make very much money, but it goes into giving them a little bit of money, like 7.50 an hour maybe, or so that they can at least get a paid lunch here and there. And I don't think people realize that when you're doing research at a university level, because like most research is coming from universities, like I said, graduate students, is that it costs an exceptional amount of money to maintain these like all the lab equipment. Like just that alone, where it's like a foundation where you're getting, let's say, a $100,000 grant, like that is not enough to fund like the extensiveness of research, because you don't even know how long it's going to go on for. You might be continuously studying something. So when I was in college, because I was in the College of Agriculture at the University of Florida, I did a lot of food panels. So you would get paid to come and be part of the research. And my friend was in school to be a food scientist, so I wasn't really supposed to be in the back of the lab. You're not hearing that from me, but I was in the back of the lab. And they're doing like alcohol research, they're doing pumpkin research, other agricultural products. And the equipment is heavy duty, big stuff. Like you're looking at like a tank to do like beer research, a $20,000, $30,000 tank. So it's like if you have a $100,000 grant, it's like a foundation can't support that for 5 to 10 years. But something like PepsiCo definitely can. They can put $1 million into a foundation to fund research. And a lot of times people aren't realizing it, but like they're funding stuff that has nothing to do with the products that they're making. It's like PepsiCo does drinks. And it's like, but they're not really doing alcohol, but they're definitely funding alcohol research. So that's my rant on that.
When are we getting alcoholic Pepsi?
There's alcoholic Mountain Dew.
There is. That's right. The hard Mountain Dew.
They're dangerous.
Are they?
But you didn't hear that from me, the dietitian. The word on the street is that you can easily drink 8 or 10 or 12. And
what are the macros on a pack of Marlboro Reds?
I'm fantastic, actually. But I don't know that.
30 grams of protein per cigarette.
If they made those, I don't even know what the world would look like.
No, you know what? Can we talk about the war on protein real quick? Because I do believe there is a war on protein, but not in the way that people think. Kellogg released a protein Pop-Tart. Do you want to know what the macros are on that fucking thing?
What?
400
I haven't
calories.
even seen that. Okay.
Yeah, go look it up. 400 calories, 10 grams of protein.
So it's
peanut
shit.
butter has better macros. This is not a protein product. The war is against protein in terms of like sullying its name on the front of products that don't need it. You'd be much better served having an actual Pop-Tart and a protein shake with it.
Oh, 100%. Have you tried those like legendary like Pop-Tarts, the ones that have like the 20 grams of protein? To me, they're like fart juice in a box. So like I don't know how people are eating those. My stomach is bubbling. Like all these protein products, I'm like, you are going to get acid reflux like tomorrow.
I will say, though, at the LA Fit Expo, they had their legendary mac and cheese out, and they were giving out these little cups, the sample cups, and it was really good. It could use a little bit more spice, but like that can be added. There's a solid base on which you can add many things. So the legendary mac and cheese, look out for that. 290 calories, 47 grams of protein.
Wow. That's really good. What's the sodium on that, though? I'd be very interested to see.
0 if you approach it with a pure heart.
You're not going to have a heart by the time you're done.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about your heart when it's gone.
No.
Speaking of approaching with a pure heart, I went down the rabbit hole. I can get Kegrisemi for $120.
What now?
Kegrisema. God, what's it?
Like some Canadian protein.
Cagrilintide combined with semaglutide.
Oh, you're looking up SARMs. Okay. Damn.
Or I could get setmelanotide for $60.
But if you use code in moderation at checkout, you get 15% off.
Well, that really pisses me off. Like seeing the influencers with their discount codes. Like, why do you even have one of those? You're not a prescriber, you're not anything. You're just some person on the internet. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Rob, here's your cold open clip. I was offered $50,000 to sell GLP-1s on my page once and turned it down.
Wow.
50,000 first month. Not this isn't like a one-time pay. It was $15,000 up front, and then it was an extra 10,000 estimate on commission per 100,000 followers that I had at the time. And so if they had given that offer to me now, it would be quite a bit more, and that would have been per month. All I had to do was make a couple of videos saying, hey, use this code at checkout. And I was thinking to myself, how much fucking money are they making on this stuff that it is worth it for them to give me this amount of money to sell it? And I had told them, I sent them a MP3 of me making a long, wet fart noise and told them to fuck off and eat my ass. Burning that bridge firmly. But yeah, it's if you see somebody, I don't want to name names here, but there was quite a large creator who just recently got into the grifting business a few months ago. It was a female creator who I want to send you guys. This is
live on air. Mike texting us.
Yeah, I knew exactly who you were talking about.
Yeah. Just want to make sure that we all are on the same page. And whenever I see a creator like that big in the millions of followers starting to sell this shit, I'm like, oh, you just got set for life there, or for the next few years, at least, if you're wise. You know, it's the amount of money you can make if you put your morals aside is insane.
And I'm not really understanding the legality of it. It's clearly legal, but it shouldn't be. And I've never seen it with other prescription medications. And the thing is there are other FDA approved medications that are not GLP-1s, but nobody has discount codes to sell those, but they can sell GLP-1. And I don't know if maybe they're acting as a rep. Maybe that's the workaround. I don't know, but I've never seen anything like it before. And it's like really, really alarming.
That ultimately is what it is. It's you are not selling the product so much as you are selling the consultation for the product. You're saying if you go to these people here and you get your consultation done, you use code KIND at checkout and you get 15% off of your subscription. So that's kind of how I think they go around it. Because I was not selling the product itself, but there was one company that asked me, they were willing to pay me to say that their product helped me lose weight, which I'm like, your product came out after I was done, so no one's going to believe that.
Right.
Like
it's because if they compound it themselves in the pharmacy, they don't have to be FDA approved.
Correct.
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah, and it's like highly, highly recommended that you do not go to a compounding pharmacy, because like that's what they're studying is the combination of different GLP-1s like and GIP, and there's like some other stuff too, glucagon, and how they can like combine these in different doses over time to affect weight, metabolism, and a bunch of other factors. So it's like to have a pharmacist like go and try to do that now, like is kind of scary. Or just messing with the dose. Like we know what the clinically effective doses are for all of these things. So for them to like titrate it up or down is like also terrifying.
If GLP-1s are so good, why have they not come out with GLP-2 yet?
That is a fair question.
I'm waiting. BlackRock, bring it out.
If it makes you feel better, it's actually illegal to compound GLP-1s here in Alberta.
I did not know that. Interesting.
It's also illegal to sell crack. It still happens. It's only going to stop the bad guys from synthesizing GLP-1s, or the good guys rather. It's not going to stop the bad ones.
Yeah, but the like even just promotion of a GLP-1 or being like, well, this is what I did. It's very like, oh, I'm just like ditzy old me, and like, no, that all of this is fine. It's like, you know what you're doing. You know how much money you're making, and you know that if you promote what you've done, people are going to want to replicate that because they're incredibly vulnerable. So it's highly irresponsible, and it's not good care in general. Like they're not healthcare providers, so like they're not going to get it. But to say, well, this worked for me, it could work for you too, like that's not how health works. Period. So like I wish that there was legislation that would finally put a stop to like being able to rep for any GLP-1, because like if they're saying that obesity is now a chronic disease that we manage over time, then I want to see the hypertension medications being repped for. I want to see the statin therapy being repped for. And why isn't that being repped for? Why does nobody do that online?
Because it's not as sexy to sell it. Hey, come bring your blood pressure down is not quite as enticing as an offer as, hey, you can lose 100 pounds in 32 minutes.
That's true.
If people really were getting horny about like lowering their cholesterol, it would be easier to sell those medications under the same sort of
cholesterol is not real, Mike.
Oh, well, it's either not real or it's
whatever.
It's either not real or it's an essential nutrient, depending on who you ask.
A butter girl who's got like cholesterol like 500 or something, and she's like, I'm the healthiest I've ever been, and I eat nothing but butter, steak, and like whipped egg whites.
Is that the really skinny one who like eats sticks of butter?
Yeah, she's like, I'm going on a flight today, and it's just like butter and steak on an airplane.
It's like you'd better have some compression socks or something, because it's being exposed to that kind of altitude when your blood is lipids. Like we've got to do something about that.
Yeah. So depending on who you ask in the world, some people say that cholesterol is real. Some people don't believe in it at all. Some people say you can have whatever cholesterol you want. So yeah, I guess statin therapy, like, it doesn't really matter. But no one's going to say that like monitoring your weight doesn't matter. Everybody like agrees that like that's pretty important. And there's a lot of other things that go into it. Like not just like the sexiness of it of like, oh yeah, I could like change my life tomorrow, like you said, in 32 minutes. But there's also like a change in like status, perception, where all of these other changes are on the inside, the weight is on the outside.
There are some people now that, again, will remain nameless, but as soon as I say this, you'll know who I'm talking about. You probably already know. There are people that will say that lifestyle changes don't matter at all. That all you have to do is take the GLP-1, and that's it. You can continue eating just smaller amounts of the same garbage that you were eating before, and the health outcomes will not change.
Yeah, and that's very interesting, because part of that is true, but it falls apart like 6 months in. So when you're actively losing weight, the other risks associated with morbid obesity like outweigh anything that you could eat or drink for the most part, because we know it increases your risk for cancer, for all of your other chronic issues. So it's like increases your risk for comorbidity. So the diseases that exist with the one we're trying to address, that's what a comorbidity is. So they would say, well, if you can only have like one Big Mac a day, then like you're going to be calorie restricted. Everything else is going to be restricted. The sodium, the fat, the protein, everything. And as you lose weight, all of these other comorbidities are going to improve. But what they're not telling you is what happens to everything else, where it's like now you have an electrolyte imbalance. Now you have muscle loss. Now you have no energy. You're not sleeping. This affects how your heart works. This affects how your muscles work. It affects the energy for the organs that need to work, like your kidneys. You can have severe dehydration. Like this cardiologist that I saw, who was like, you have malnutrition. Yes, your comorbidities have improved, but you've created now a new condition that needs to be addressed. And if you're not exercising, they can say all they want, all day long, that when you lose weight, you're going to lose muscle mass, but we can stunt that with resistance exercise with progressive overload. So that whole like, oh, you're going to lose like 20% of your muscle mass anyways, like what does it matter? Okay, you can still lose bone density by not exercising and having one Big Mac a day. And so at the 6 month mark, I'd really like to see if you had a full health assessment with everything, including your like physical capacity for exercise, I'd like to know how healthy those people really are.
Health doesn't
Mic
matter
drop.
as much as their ability to pay for it. Yeah, no, you're always dropping the mic. That's why I wanted you to get on here and rant to everybody. Because I know that there's probably a lot of I'm pretty sure Liam has been taken out. Oh, he's back. He's returned. Hi. Oh my goodness. Anybody who's
for those listening,
there's always
Liam
one
is just
visual
hanging out with Oakley on screen.
Yeah, he was back he's been gone, and we've just been watching an empty screen for like 20 minutes. And very briefly, Liam and Oakley just popped back in. But Brittany, where can everybody find you?
On Instagram, metabolic_dietitian. I'm not posting as much right now. My life's been kind of crazy, so I archived all my stuff. I know. I've archived everything, but I'm always my DMs are always open, so I do still answer like a lot of questions from people, give like some general advice. Not taking new clients at the moment, but that will be changing probably like second half of the year.
I did have you teach a class in my group, so if anybody wants to watch a full lesson from her, let me know. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that was really fun. I still talk about that.
Fun. You were the first person that I wanted to have as a guest speaker in the group, so I'm super glad that we were able to make that happen. And I know everybody loved you there, and I hope that everybody listening here follows Brittany. She's not only super smart and her heart is in the right place, but she's goddamn too funny. And it's not fair that you get to all the cool reels before I do. Like, leave some for the rest of us, motherfucker.
Always 50 ahead.
She's also wearing a Gator NASA suit.
Also
That's
wearing the NASA Gator tracksuit. But yes, thank you for joining us on such short notice.
Yes, thank you for having me. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, I've been waiting to say these things. I've been waiting for the opportunity.
And everybody listening in, if you would like Brittany to go even deeper into some even angrier stuff, cast your votes now, and we'll bring her back for a whole session of just yelling.
Screamo in the mic.
And Liam yelling.
All I'm seeing is Oakley pull this chair around. Liam's not here anymore.
He
Liam's been knocked out. Oakley's now the co-host.
It is
chair.
Finally been passed along to the next generation in moderation. 100 years. So the volume is not on. This is something that you're going to have to watch.
Now we're just sitting
YouTube.
here watching Oakley and Liam.
Yep, there's some kind of negotiation happening.
Oh, and
Liam's
they're gone. Okay, episode over.
Hey, wasn't that a great time? Listen to the podcast. I'm assuming you were just listening to In Moderation. So if you go ahead and hit the 5-star button, is that a thing? The like button?
That's a thing. Yep.
The like button
5
on YouTube.
stars.
If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, not the dislike button. That's a bad button. The
Bad
like
button.
Bad
Don't touch.
Hit all the other buttons. The share. You can go check out
all those things.
Subscribe. Go check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
We do have a Patreon. It's free to join if you want, or you could give us some money. That'd be really cool, like $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have.
That's where you'll find all the news for this.
We're super appreciative. You can find all sorts of other stuff there. We do giveaways, I think, sometimes.
Sometimes.
All that good stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, peace.